policies in the military. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Next slide.
One of the policies we chose to do was increase use of reserve forces.
A military reserve force is a military organisation composed of citizens of a country who combine a military role or career with a civilian career. Reserve forces are an essential and integral component of the UK's defence capability. In future they will have a greater role and will be more integrated with a regular component of the armed forces. This requires an increase in its size and change in the nature of the reserve role. This is an essential part of transforming defence and delivering Defence's vision for Future Force 2020.
That is so
Video. Oh, you got it upside down.
Oh,
It's video time now, lads. Have a look at these. Wait, loads.
this computer's slow.
What you've done.
Lads, where did you get that quote from that you were just reading? Where was that information from?
Wikipedia.
No, it was that. It was .gov something.
Yeah,
Okay,
Gov.pol.
okay, so you need to find the source of your information, yeah, especially if you're quoting it directly.
It matters, so I just copy and paste it back into Google.
Oh, this could be random.
You said you copy and pasted it anyway.
Are they?
How are you recording Wes?
It's not even recorded. Just got the crap out when he turned around and saw it.
This is broken.
Sorry about the way.
This isn't planned.
I'm sick and tired of the way.
This is actually a really good video message. It was 2 UK forces personnel. I'll send it out.
Totally didn't know that.
Put it in HD.
The threats of the 21st
Did you
century.
hear that?
In Future Force 2020, we're building an adaptable whole force to meet those challenges and threats, with the reserves as an integral component of it. The Future Reserves 2020 Commission reported that our reserves, particularly the Territorial Army, were in decline. We're responding by revitalising our reserve forces, reversing the decline of the recent past, growing their trained strength and investing an additional £1.8 billion in them over the next 10 years. Under the plans I've announced today, the number of trained Army reservists will increase from around 19,000 to 30,000 by 2018. Total trained reserve forces will increase from around 22,000 to 35,000. To deliver these changes, we need to change the way the regular armed forces regard their reservist counterparts. We need to change the relationship between reserves and employers, the structure and laydown of the reserve forces, and the way we equip, support and deploy them. So we're improving the offer for reservists with better training, better equipment and a better remuneration package. We're changing the name of the TA to the Army Reserve, enhancing the package of welfare benefits for reservists and their families, giving reservists paid annual leave and pension entitlement in respect of training days as well as deployment to bring the structure of their remuneration into line with the regulars. We're improving training with an increase in the number of overseas exercises and pairing reserve units with regular units, as well as investing in new kit for reservists, including £42 million immediately for new dismounted close combat kit for the Army Reserve. For employers, we will provide £500 per month per reservist to small and medium employers when their reservist employees are deployed, in addition to the costs that they can already recover under the current system. And we will give them predictability of periods of liability for call-out to give employers greater ability to plan. This modernisation of our reserve forces will better prepare us for the challenges ahead, with a more integrated force structure of regulars and reserves working as paired units, carrying out joint training and equipped with similar kit. Today's changes will improve the offer for reservists and reset the relationship with employers. For too long, we've underinvested in our reserves and lagged behind our closest allies in the mix of regular and reserve forces. This set of radical reforms will modernise and revitalise our reserves for the 21st century.
There you go.
Nice guy.
Join the reserve, just write down or something.
Yeah, that video was just outlining the policy there.
Who's that guy?
I'll read the next bit now.
He's George.
Okay,
You
no,
know
sorry.
George.
Have you got more on increased use of reserve forces, or is that it?
That is it.
Okay, so stick to that first policy for now. What's the impact of that policy on the public services?
Well, if it's an increase of reserves, then there's going to be hiring more, isn't it? So there'll be more jobs open to the military. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of reserve forces, how might that impact on the regular troops who are like full-time, you know, aircrew,
Then
soldiers?
It might affect them negatively because, you know, there's not as many normal jobs, like paid jobs in the military, and obviously they're recruiting a lot more for the reserves. People might think, oh, I want to join the army, and say a pilot, and they might not get that opportunity, whereas there's lots of spaces for voluntary work.
Any other impacts there, JJ?
I think they covered it all quite well.
Okay. What impact does that policy have on society in
well,
general?
well, if it's the increase
JJ?
of actually.
No, there's some stuff in that video there. Is there anything in there about how it might impact on people outside of the public services?
I don't understand it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, basically, if there's a increase of forces, well, the reserve forces, then there's going to be more jobs going, isn't there? So people that need a job could get a job by getting into the reserve forces.
Okay.
So less people.
So
without jobs.
if somebody goes from their regular job into reserve forces, what impact does that have on the people that work where they work normally into civilian life?
I suppose, yeah, then there'll be less people working at there. But then there's more jobs open up for people before that. So it kind of works as a chain, doesn't it? It's like a job goes for a job and then back in that job.
JJ, people training in the public services, yeah, working as reservists, think about all the training and time spent developing their skills. How might that impact on their civilian lives?
Just teach other people what they're doing. I've got no idea. Oh my god. Don't understand any of this, I'm honest.
Okay. Anyone else? No?
It's like a broader range, they can learn a broader range of skills that can translate to civilian life. So, like in the army, you can learn how to drive big trucks, and you can drive big trucks in civilian life.
Yeah, okay,
Simple as
so
that.
good, yeah, so it can have a positive impact that way. With increased use of reserve forces, they can spend more time in combat potentially.
Yeah.
You know, potential there for loss of life, loss of limb, or other injuries. What impact is that going to have on society? Friends, family, their prospects.
Don't ask you what I told you about 1,000 times, I don't understand what you're on about.
But what was the question? What did you say again? About the impact of the families in there.
Yeah, so more reserve forces in combat, so more reservists will be getting injured, potentially dying, serving their country.
So which
What's
means
the impact on society of that?
Well,
It's going to affect families and that.
what's that you do?
It's going to affect families. People don't know.
Go on, in what way? What could you expand on it?
Well, if
Explain
it
for us.
affects the families and the people that, like, say people are working, their family members are working, then if the people die from the reserves, the family workers will obviously take time off because they die, and then there'll be less people working again. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, any other impacts? Doesn't just have to be financial and job related.
It can give a negative view on the voluntary side of the army and that with the reserves. People are dying and things. It's going to make going to make less people want to join, perhaps, and for the fact that they're not getting paid, as much as a normal serving armed force soldier.
So that's again impacting on the public services, but what about on society, families, friends, etc.? Mum or dad's gone off to war, has got killed or kind of injured, what impact might that have on their children? They haven't got the role model.
No.
They'll have to take care of themselves, won't they? Like stress and everything will like impact, and then they'll go, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's hard to explain.
Okay, yeah, you've had a fair stab at it though, lads. Let's leave it there.